Well, Chrysler's dead. Dodge is on the way to China. And the UAW endorses Kamala Harris for president. Wow. Welcome back to the mCubeNEWS channel. Just want to let you know a little something here. I am a multifaceted kind of guy. I'm heavily into automotive things. I have been all my life. I'm heavily into aviation. Have been all my life. Hell, I even like trains. I mean, you know, buses. Anything with wheels on it pretty much makes me tick. I'm also a grammar Nazi. The English language has always been something that I really enjoy understanding and knowing how it works. And I mentally correct people all the time in my head. Try not to do it in real life. But I'm also a political junkie. I'm heavily into politics because I believe that politics pretty much affects everything we do and have. And I started this channel as a release, kind of really pretty much as a way to let things out. I mean, you know, I figure stuff out and I go through things. I want to help other people, get them to the point where they can do stuff that I did because I found out how to do it. So I'm gonna let you know how to do it. Just a sharing of knowledge. That's all, pretty much it, right? But anyway, I keep the politics off of this channel. We don't do politics here because it makes people crazy. I really try not to do politics here. But I mean, I have certain political leanings and certain things I believe in, and they gonna come across. No matter what I do, it's gonna come across. So I mean, I just hope you accept it and understand it. That's the lean. That's where I'm coming from. No hate in my heart for anybody. Don't wish nobody dead. Don't wish nobody to be assassinated. Don't wish nobody to be removed from society. But I do see that we have a difference in mental goals. As far as things, maybe not even mental goals, but as, you know, we have different agendas, right? People want different things out of life, out of society. But that brings me to today's topic, and that's my beloved Mopar, my beloved Chrysler automobiles, my beloved FCA. Stellantis, not so beloved. Anyway, we have a car company here who has been through a lot of takeovers, a couple of bankruptcies, a couple of hard times, and the ownership changes hands. And currently, we are under the ownership of a Dutch company. And Stellantis is Dutch. We have a CEO who is not American. But yet, this highly American company, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, Mopar, is been under attack from the powers that be, namely the U.S. federal government. U.S. federal government has an agenda of changing the weather or somehow affecting the weather through the use of electric cars. Personally, I think it's all nonsense. I think it's all a hustle. It's the idea that your air, your breath, the thing that comes out of tailpipes now, because carbon dioxide didn't come out of tailpipes before the 70s. It was carbon monoxide, which was a poisonous gas. It removes oxygen. It displaces oxygen. So if you huff carbon monoxide, you die because you don't have oxygen. You need oxygen to survive. Carbon dioxide was introduced out of our tailpipes through government action, installing catalytic converters on every car. Catalytic converter changes carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide. This basically adds another oxygen molecule. Now cars breathe carbon dioxide. We breathe carbon dioxide. Trees and plants inhale carbon dioxide. We have a system. Seems to work fine. But now they're telling you carbon dioxide is a pollutant. Carbon dioxide needs to be eliminated. So we get EV mandates. And we get mileage restrictions, such as cafe standards. Now, this is something brought on by the U.S. federal government. Namely, one side of the U.S. federal government has been into this because it basically, the war on climate change causes government to become bigger, have more control more wealth, control more of the economy. And there's certain parts of this government, certain parts of this country who want the government to be in control of everything. They want to take over everything. They want to take over healthcare. They want to take over, it seems like they're trying to take over the automotive industry because these cafe standards have been choking the industry for a while and causing the automotive makers to have to produce things that the public does not want. The public, the consumer, in my opinion, drives the economy. What we want, what we're willing to buy, and what we're willing to work for, it basically dictates the price of everything and what's made and what's not made. But the government sees fit to crush the automotive industry. Now, that crushing has taken out Chrysler, because for every car that Chrysler was making that we loved, they had to pay the government incredible fees for every car because the government said that car doesn't get good enough gas mileage. We didn't have nothing to do with that. You buy a Hemi, you buy a Hellcat, you obviously have the gas under control. You should be, this is what I want in gas mileage. This is what I know I'm going to get. There are other people who had a car. I'm going to buy one because I know what it gets and I'm cool with it. I got the money for it. I'm going to handle it. But no, the government says we know best. We're your parents. We're going to tell you what you can drive and what you can't drive. And if you're going to consistently make these cars, we're going to punish you. So the automotive industry has been punished by the government. Basically, one side of the government, the left side of the government has been punishing the automakers. Now, our automaker, Chrysler, my favorite, has pretty much lost the battle. They have stock prices in the toilet now. Nobody's buying the cars. Inflation is another problem, usually brought on by government, because they're the only ones that could really do it something on a massive scale, big enough to inflate the dollar like that. But anyway, inflation's here. The cars are not selling. They're coming out with cars that nobody wants because the government's kind of forcing them through these mandates. And this is all coming from the left side of government. Then you have the UAW, which is the Auto Workers Union. They have recently went into contract war with Chrysler, who is their cash cow, their sustenance. Chrysler and the unions had a adversarial relationship, and the union kind of won because they had help from the left side of the government, who was their biggest supporters. That's why they support them now for president, because they helped them win. But what they did was they won against their provider. Chrysler is the provider to the union. Without Chrysler, there is no union. And at least not that chapter, right? You got Ford, you got Chevy, GM. But Chrysler's union group, they're local, won. And they beat Chrysler down for more money, which Chrysler did not have. But they wanted more money, more benefits. Because that's the thing with unions. Unions want more money and more benefits for the employees, because then the employees pay more in dues. And then the union has dues, and they do what they want with the dues, right? And sometimes they do whatever with or without the permission of the actual membership for the most part. But they managed to beat Chrysler down. Now, Chrysler in return had to lay off a whole bunch of folks. I mean, you know, they take their steps. Well, hell, you know, we can't afford you no more. So they laid off a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people got laid off. Chrysler's now going away. It's going to be sold off to a Chinese company, more than likely. But that union, who had help from the left side of government to crush their provider, who is Chrysler, I said, no Chrysler, there's no job. They beat their own provider down to get benefits for themselves. And that is the main problem. And I mean, of course, now they're going to endorse more of the left side of government. So we're going to get more EV mandates, which pretty much Chrysler's on its way out because of the EV mandates in the first place, attached to CAFE standards. So those policies supported by the left side of our future government possibly are going to continue to crush the industry that the auto workers in that chapter need to survive. It makes no sense to me. It's not in their own best interest to fight the company that they need to survive, that they're getting all their money from. They fight it. And it's like, the problem I have with the left side of government in this country is that they use people in different groups to fight other groups in the same country. Basically, I want to vote for this side of government because they're going to give me a benefit, me and my group and my friends a benefit at the expense of other groups in the country. Because basically the country is not mine. I'm just in the country. I don't love the country. Hell with the country, whether or not it survives or not, I don't care. The country owes me because of whatever victimhood that I have. I blame the country for it. So I don't like the country I'm in. So I want to change it. I want to take a lot of wealth out of one side of the country and drop it off over here. And if the country dies because of it, so be it. It's the same thing that happened with the union. The union said, we want more money for us, the employees. To hell with the company. If the company can afford it or not, it does not matter. I want union. I don't care about the company. I hate the company I work for. That's the attitude that you have to have when you're in a union, and it's not advantageous to anybody. It causes you to eat your own self. You are the company you work for. You are the country you live in. It's a whole. And this is why the person running on the right side of government, their main slogan is, we're going to make the country great. We're going to take care of the whole country. Everybody's going to get a benefit if you do that. Let's make the country good. Let's do things that are best for the whole country. Then we can enjoy it. We can operate in our normal capacity. We can work our systems the way they're supposed to be worked. You can get a good job. You can make good money. You can buy nice things. You can have a decent community. But we got to fix the whole country. We cannot just say, I'm going to fix your group, your little group of your race, color, or your fucking financial status group, or your sexuality class group. We're going to take care of you guys. We're going to punish all those other guys over there. We're going to take it from them and give it to you. That is not good, and it does not work. It just creates death and poverty for all. So, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised that the UAW is going to do what they're going to do. I just hope they don't win. Because, A, I'm a car lover. I would love to see my engine come back. My namesake engine come back. I really would love to see that. Now, I got the right side person that's running is promising day one, EV mandates are gone. We're going to take care of our own auto industry. We're going to get our own auto industry back together, which is basically we're going to get our whole country back together. We're going to get gas at a reasonable price. We don't hate fuel. We don't hate energy because of climate change. We don't hate energy. We're going to, climate change, whatever you want to do with it, fine. Okay, but we're not going to punish ourselves for some magical, mythical doomsday prophecy. Okay, we're not going to do that. So, the right side person that's running is promising. Now, mind you, this right side person that's running has already been president once before, and they did 99% of what they said they were going to do. And it will be in their best interest. It will be in the country's best interest. It will be in everybody's best interest if this person does these things. And especially if you're a car lover. I mean, come on, how do you fight that? You want to go back to EV mandates? You want to go back to a government that hates your car, that hates the fact that you go where you want to go and be where you want to be, that wants to control you and everything you do and every dollar you make. They want to bring in digital money, which is programmable, so that they can turn it off when you say something goofy on Facebook or make a video against them on YouTube. They can turn your money off. That's the kind of things that the control side of government is trying to enact, because they will be in control. They'll live outside of all this system. They'll have their own setup, you know, like they did with the healthcare thing. They took over healthcare for everybody else, and they had their own little system set up for themselves. But I'm gonna leave that for now. I just, like I said, I hope things go the right way. We'll get a reprieve from the madness. We'll get our cars back. We'll get our autonomy back as consumers without being told what we got to do, because the government is not my parent. The government is a referee. Basically, they'll settle disputes between people. They'll protect the overall country. And that's it. Government's not going to provide for me. The government does not have to tell me how to live. The government does not have to tell me that the sky is falling and I need to do thus and so, or else I'm going to die. I don't need the government for that. I have my own brain. I have research at my fingertips 24 hours a day. I can do it. I can take care of myself. I'm grown. All right? So let me live in a grown man's country. That's all I ask.
Donald Trump's recent declaration to end the electric vehicle mandate if he wins the presidential election in November 2024 signals a potential major policy shift. Referring to eco-friendly initiatives as green scam ideas, Trump criticized the mandate, which aims for 2/3 of all new cars and trucks sold in the U.S. to be electric-powered within 8 years. From a political standpoint, this stance underscores a sharp contrast with the current administration's goals and could resonate strongly with Trump's base. Voters skeptical of rapid environmental policy changes and those concerned about the economic impact on traditional industries may find his message appealing. This rhetoric may particularly resonate with workers in the fossil fuel and traditional automotive sectors who fear job losses due to the EV mandate. For consumers, eliminating the mandate could mean fewer incentives to purchase electric cars, potentially slowing the adoption of cleaner vehicles. This move might appeal to those who prefer traditional gasoline-powered vehicles and are wary of the costs associated with EVs. However, it could also impede progress in the fight against climate change.